what I'd like to do today, I was here a year ago, and that was the first time I ever sang and played the piano in public. And I kind of discovered that the more complicated you make things, the harder it gets. So we just do the piano simple. And what I'd like to do today is I started writing songs about 20 years ago, and about a quarter of them are religious songs, and half of them are everything else, and about a quarter of them are just silly fun songs. So that's what I like to do today, a program of just songs that are with the intention of making you smile and laugh a little bit, because the world needs more of that. And I don't sing a lot of country music, but this first song, I took all the things that happen in country songs, that how things go wrong, and just piled them into one song. It's called Trailer Trash. I hope the dawn comes soon, 'cause it's getting awful dark. Sun's no longer shining on Green Acres Trailer Park. Sometimes I even wonder if I live under a curse, 'cause seems just about every day things go from bad to worse. So don't ask me what she's up to, I can't begin to say. There's thunder in the distance, the storm's heading this way. Just when I think I've seen it all, something else goes wrong. So the bestest way to tell y'all is to sing this little song. Oh, the fridge is empty, the truck won't start, all the bills are overdue. A hound dog died, the well run dry, so I'm sitting here singing the blues. I ain't shown me no lovin' since way back when dirt was new. You pushed me round so long, there's nothing else for me to do. Oh, you passed up every chance I gave you for romance, but I ain't gonna sit around and pout. I decided to do what I've been meaning to, without a second thought or doubt. Maybe someday someone will show you what life's all about. There ain't been no trash in my trailer since the night I threw you out. Phone's been disconnected and the welfare check's all gone. Got my reasons for believing you got something going on. I seen you flirting with the clerk down at the party store. You just blew your last second chance, so I'm showing you the door. You passed up every chance I gave you for romance, but I ain't gonna sit around and pout. I decided to do what I've been meaning to, without a second thought or doubt. Maybe someday someone will show you what life's all about. You ain't been no trash in my trailer since the night I throwed you out. Well, you spent every last dollar we had on fancy French perfume. Fellows' eyes all turn your way when you walk into the room. Your chapter in my book is one I'd rather not rehash, but my trailer smells much better now since I threw out the trash. You passed up every chance I gave you for romance, but I ain't gonna sit around and pout. I decided to do what I've been meaning to, without a second thought or doubt. Maybe someday someone will show you what life's all about. There ain't been no trash in my trailer since the night I throwed you out. There ain't been no trash in my trailer since the night I throwed you out. Woo! Well, thank you. All right, well, Tiger Woods is kind of making a comeback here, and he finished his round of golf, went in the clubhouse, and Stevie Wonder was in there. He said, "Stevie, what are you doing in here?" I said, "Oh, Stevie, well, I love playing golf." Tiger said, "Really?" And he's kind of thinking in his head, how does a blind guy play golf? So he said, "Stevie, I just have to ask you, how can you play golf?" Stevie says, "Well, I just send my caddy out in the fairway, and he calls out to me, and that's where I hit the ball." He says, "Okay, and well, how do you putt?" "Well, my caddy just goes down by the hole and calls out to me, and that's how I know where to putt." So Tiger said, I'm really impressed. I'd like to play around with you sometime." Well, Stevie says, "Well, that'd be nice, but I don't play just for fun. I only play for money, like $100,000 a hole." So Tiger thinks he's got a fish on the line there. He says, oh, you know, let's go ahead and do that. When would you like to play? So Stevie says, pick a night, any night. Okay. Oh, somebody got it. Okay. All right. I don't get paid to tell the jokes, so we'll see which ones work. This is another song I wrote about 8 years ago. My daughter works in retail, and she hates this time of year. It's Thanksgiving time, and you know, to each his own. Some of you like to go shopping on the day after Thanksgiving. That's called Black Friday. It's really not one of the things I particularly like to do. So I wrote this song it's called Black Friday. Hey Mom, the turkey was really great. Can't believe how much stuffing and gravy I ate. But sure, I'll have one more piece of pumpkin pie. Thanksgiving dinner was really grand, but I need to leave soon, I've got other things planned. Though I ate so much, I'm about ready to die. Gonna grab my camping gear and head to Best Buy. Gotta be right in the front of the line. There's just no time to waste, I really must make haste. That 60-inch HD TV is mine. My tent's getting set up there on the curbside. I'll take elbow pads and rollerblades along. It's not the country club, but I can go behind the shrubs. Black Friday's almost here, so long. My whole day's planned out. Next I'll be heading to the manufacturer's clearance outlet mall. Buying stuff I can't afford, please help me out here, Lord. My van's already packed from wall to wall. Ah, there's great bargains on stuff I really need. I don't have the strength to pass one sale by. Making choices is too hard, that's why there are credit cards. There's no interest or payments till July. Take heed when you hear my shopping cart. I suggest that you stay out of my way. And when I see a super sale, you better move your tail. I don't have the strength to pass one sale by. There's great bargains on stuff I really need. So I'll be the first in line to join the fray. Making choices is too hard, that's why there are credit cards. And there's no interest or payment till July. In the evening when I'm home, safe and warm, and my booty's all unloaded from the van, I see all the stuff I bought, and I'm troubled by the thought, do I really need a digital frying pan? Broke, busted, and disgusted I may be, and the marathon is over now, amen. Still I find it quite appealing to have new stuff from floor to ceiling. Next year I'm sure I'll do it all again. So take heed when you see my shopping cart. I suggest that you stay out of my way. When I see a super sale, you better move your tail, or you'll end up with a long hospital stay. When they open the doors to let us in, I'll be the first in line to join the fray. I think of it as looting without arson or shooting. It's my favorite day of all, Black Friday. Black Friday. Thank you. You won't see me in the stores on Black Friday. Okay, back in 1962, Shelley Fabares sang this song, and she wasn't really a singer. She had a lot of backup singers. Darlene Love was one of the backup singers on this song, and it's called Johnny Angel. And so I twisted it around a little bit. I think, well, you know, this Johnny guy, he must have a pretty swelled head. He's got Shelley Fabares barking up his tree. So this is a slightly revamped version of Johnny Angel called Johnny Ego. Can't make the piano any louder. That's on full blast, so I don't know if you're picking that up okay. Maybe that's good. I'm Johnny Ego, Johnny Ego, Johnny Ego. I'm the world to you. I'm Johnny Ego, how you love me. I've got something that you can't resist. But I barely even know that you even exist. I'm Johnny Ego, how you want me, how you tingle when I pass you by. But I ever say hello, you'd likely lay down and cry. You're in heaven, you get carried away. You dream of being with me, and how great that would be. Other fellows call you up for a date, but you just sit and wait. You'd rather concentrate on Johnny Ego, how you need me, and when you kneel down to pray, hoping and dreaming I'll notice you someday. You're in heaven, you get carried away. You dream of being with me, and how great that would be. Other fellows call you up for a date, but you just sit and wait. You'd rather concentrate on Johnny Ego, how you need me, and then you kneel down to pray, hoping and dreaming I'll notice you someday. I'm Johnny Ego, Johnny Ego, Johnny Ego. I'm the world to you. Oh, Johnny Ego. Thank you. I had to really imagine that part because it never really worked that way in my career. All right, I was over in McDonald's a few days ago, and there was this elderly couple, and they're kind of sitting off on the corner by themselves, and they got a Happy Meal there. And they got 2 cups. They poured half the drink in 1 cup. The husband gave it to the wife. The wife's counting out the French fries, 1 over here and 1 over there. And he's cutting the hamburger in half, and he takes half and gives her half. And I'm thinking, you know, these poor people, they need some help. Probably should buy them another Happy Meal so they don't have to share. So she's sitting down, she's eating, he's just sitting there watching. So I said, well, I gotta ask about this. She says, well, I noticed that you're sharing this meal. I'd be happy to buy another one for you. And how come she's eating and you're not? He says, well, it's her turn for the teeth right now. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to use that one again. That's a good groaner. Okay. Well, here's a story about 2 old fellas. They're over in Walmart going shopping. They had an unfortunate experience, but it all worked out in the end. So this is the Talking Shopping Cart Blues. I was shopping over at Walmart when 2 old men crashed their shopping carts. I expected there'd be some cuss words, but this is what I overheard. I'm sorry, sometimes I forget to look both ways when I'm upset. But I can't find my wife, you see. I've got no clue where she might be. I understand, the other replied, since just like you, I've lost my bride. No wonder we had this accident when we don't know where our wives went. The first guy said, well, how about we try to help each other out? 4 eyes are as good as 2. If you help me, then I'll help you. Sounds like a plan, the second said. wiping the sweat from his forehead. Describe the woman you adore, so I'll know who I'm looking for. She's long and lean, she's 22. Her hair is blonde and her eyes are blue. She's wearing a pair of pink flip-flops, daisy dukes, and a halter top. Well, just so we can complete our task, what's yours look like? The first guy asked. It doesn't matter anymore. The second said, let's look for yours. Hey, that makes you what goes on in a fella's mind to come up with something like that. Okay, I have twin boys. They're 28 now, but it was fun watching them grow up. And one of the things we did together was Little League. Had a lot of good experiences there. And one day had a little problem. One of the boys was acting up a little bit, so I called him over and said, hey, you understand about cooperation and teamwork? And he nodded his head. I said, well, we win and lose as a team, and sometimes I have to take you out so one of the other kids gets a chance to play. He said, do you understand that? I said, yeah, okay. And, sometimes the umpire, he's a volunteer, and he doesn't always get the calls right. And when he does that, it's not okay to call him names. I said, are you okay with that? He nodded his head. So I said, well, good, I want you to go over and tell that to your grandmother. All right. So, no, they can't all be hits. There's B sides, there's B jokes just like A jokes. So we'll see which ones stick. So this is called A Tale of Interfaith Mathematics. Now, I wasn't raised a Catholic, but I was doing real well in grade school, and I wasn't really being challenged. And my parents, this is true now, they considered sending me over to Catholic school, but they didn't have a gym. I was into sports, so I kind of nixed that idea. But this is about a Jewish boy that was having trouble with mathematics, and it's called A Tale of Interfaith Mathematics. A Jewish boy was flunking math, and he incurred his parents' wrath. Tutors, mentors, and flashcards, arithmetic was still too hard. Finally, in desperation, they overcame their trepidation. Said, now son, tomorrow you'll find yourself in Catholic school. The boy came straight home every day. He didn't go outside to play. Upstairs to his room he'd head to study math till time for bed. His parents really couldn't tell just why their boy was doing so well. But they were thrilled report card day to see their son's math grade was A. Was it the structure, nuns, or books or nuns, the uniforms, the discipline? His parents needed to know why, so then their son gave this reply. The first day it was very clear that math is quite important here. I couldn't get out of my mind that guy nailed up on the plus sign. Thank you. That was kind of a begrudging hand, but I understand. No offense intended. Well, this man took his dog to the veterinarian and asked the vet to have the dog's tail cut off. It said, I've never had that kind of a request. He asked the man why he wanted him to do that. And the man told him, well, his mother-in-law was coming over for a visit, and he didn't want anything to happen that would make her feel welcome there. Okay. All right, so this is This is a song about a fellow who, well, it's called Like Mother Used to Do. I'll just leave it at that, and the song will explain itself. I couldn't stand her casserole, I didn't like her cake. Her biscuits were too hard, not like my mother used to make. She didn't perk the coffee right, I cared not for her stew. She didn't mend my socks the way my mother used to do. She starched my shirts way too much and her housekeeping was bad. She didn't fold my clothes the way my mother always had. I never liked the way she dressed, her driving was bad too. And she never mowed the lawn the way my mother used to do. Poor, poor me, I lead this crummy life. Mom was always good to me, much better than my wife. I stuck with her so long, oh poor, poor me. I lived a life of total misery. I pondered for an answer, searched vainly for a clue. Was there nothing done better than my mother used to do? And then one day I saw the light, there was one thing she could do. She turned around and slapped me harder than my mother used to do. Hey. You like that one better? Okay. Well, this hillbilly had 3 teenage daughters, and he's very protective of his girls. And it was Saturday night, and they all had dates. So the first guy came over and knocked on the door, and he answered the door. He said, "Hi, my name's Joe. I'm here to see Flo. We're going to the show. Is she ready to go?" I said, "Yeah, that's probably okay." So off they go on their date. A few minutes later, another knock on the door. He opened the door, the kid's there. He says, "My name's Freddie, and I'm here to pick up Betty. We're going out for spaghetti. Is she ready?" So yeah, that sounds good. So they let her go. A few minutes later, another boy knocks on the door. He answers it and says, "Hi, my name's Rex," and he shot him right on the sight. So I'm going to ask a friend to help me sing this song. This is not a lover's triangle song, but it's kind of an expanded view. So this is Sherry Krishnan, a dear friend. And Sherry is a ukulele instructor and a drum leader, and she's got her thumb a lot of different things. So we rehearsed this song one whole time, and it's called The Lunch Line Liaison. Teenagers. Goofing round in the lunch line, saw this new girl, she was mine. All my pickup lines were lame, so I asked her what's her name. "My name's Abby, Virgo's my sign." I said I'd buy lunch this time, got mac and cheese, she had the same. Abby set my heart aflame.
When we moved and I changed schools, I tried so hard to be cool. Some handsome guy bought lunch one day, my heart just melted away. His name's Hunter, he just rules, all those other girls are fools. I love Hunter, I'm here to stay, our love is here to stay.
Hunter? Who's this Hunter guy? Wears his pants pulled way up high. I used to beat him up each day and take his lunch money away. Big thick glasses and crossed eyes, a face that'd make his mother cry. He likes girls, there's no way. Everybody knows he's doesn't like girls.
No Hunter, the all-state quarterback, he drives a Cadillac. and
Oh, yeah, that
sing.
hurts.
Gumming, Nana's guitar, strumming hack, a self-absorbed egomaniac. He's not just looking for a fling. Asked me if I'd wear his ring.
Oh, that Hunter. Yeah, I know him. Mr. Brainiac Valedictorian. He likes the homecoming queen. She's the captain of the pom-pom team. Betty bought lunch on a whim. I'd say your odds are pretty slim. I'm sorry to wreck your dreams, but Hunter's chasing Mallory.
Mallory, it's quite well known, had a nose job and got silicone. She must have no self-esteem. She's dated half the football team. Hunter jumped her. She's alone, loose and single, on her own. She's quite easy, so it seems she'd fall for any slick guy's theme.
Well, that's quite interesting. So tell me more. I'd like to know about this girl, Mallory, now that she has been set free. I just wonder, do you suppose she'd let me check out her new nose? That's something I'd like to see. I think I love Mallory.
Good idea, and I can tell you two would fit together well. Hunter and I were meant to be, just like you and Mallory. I think he has me in a spell. I see stars and I see bells.
So glad I found the one for me. I love you,
Hunter.
Mallory. She's for me. All right. Hey, give Sherry a big hand. She's a good sport. She'll never sing with me again, but I had fun. So
Thank you, Jen.
that's the Lunchline Liaison. All right, so how many of you exercise or work out regularly? Okay, 3 out of 47 people. That's pretty good. Well, if any of you swim, you know, if swimming's so good for you, how come whales are so fat? Think about that. So if you watch the Olympics in the summer, they have this synchronized swimming, all these ladies doing everything together. But if one of them drowns, do they all have to drown? That's something to consider, right? So this is a story about a guy who went swimming and had quite an adventure. It's called Once I Went A-Swimmin'. I grabbed my fishing pole and took a little stroll down to the shores of the bay. The sun was blazing hot and there just were not any fish coming round my way. I looked and saw no women, so I decided to go swimming just to get out of the heat. Since no one was there, I hung my underwear on the branch of an old oak tree. Skinny dipping in the bay can be somewhat risque, but I really didn't give a hoot. All my cares were washed away as on my back I lay, wearing only my birthday suit. As I frolicked in the water, just like Pharaoh's daughter, once basked in the Nile, a young lady saw me there and swiped my underwear and left me all alone with just my smile. While I stood there soaking wet, the sun began to set. This was not a good place for me. As I started turning blue, wondering what to do, she began to slowly swim her way toward me. Friends, I do not recommend swimming naked when daylight ends. It's important to retain your body heat. So when you're splashing in the pond, be sure to leave your clothing on. And now I think this song must be complete. Okay. Good. Well, I said I don't sing a lot of country songs, but somebody sent me a joke. This is way back when, and I said, this needs to be a song. So this is called the Redneck Love Song. I don't think I could sing it in Kentucky or Tennessee, but let's sing it here. Susie Lee done fell in love. She planned to marry Joe. She was so happy about it all. She told her pappy so. She was so happy about it all. She told her pappy so. Pappy told her, Susie gal, you'll have to find another. I just as soon your ma don't know, but Joe is your half-brother. I just as soon your ma don't know, but Joe is your half-brother. So Susie put aside her Joe and planned to marry Will. After telling Pappy this, he said there's trouble still. After telling Pappy this, he said there's trouble still. You can't marry Will, my gal, and please don't tell your mother. But Will and Joe and several more I know is your half-brother. Will and Joe and several more I know is your half-brother. But Mama knew and said, my child, just do what makes you happy, happy. Marry Will or marry Joe, you ain't no kin to Pappy. These are all short, but that's for a reason, so tell your story and move on to the next. So this is a very loosely related Bible song. This is called Adam's Companion. You know why Adam and Eve had a perfect marriage? He didn't have to listen to her talk about other men that she could have married, and he didn't have to put up with his mother-in-law. Okay, so Adam's Companion. God created Adam back in Eden, he did roam. It was almost perfect there in Adam's garden home. In this paradise world, Adam never ever sinned. God decided to make Adam a very special friend. A lovely life in paradise, yet Adam was alone. He had no friend, but he did have a couple extra bones. God called him over one day saying, here's what I'd like to do. I'll give you a companion, but it's going to cost you. God sat down next to Adam in a meadow on a log. Said, Adam, what you need for a companion is a dog. But you must give back something. Now I know I mean no harm. So if you want a best friend, you must give back your right arm. A lovely life in paradise, yet Adam was alone. He had no friend, but he did have a couple extra bones. God called him over one day saying, here's what I'd like to do. I'll give you a companion, but it's going to cost you. Adam thought about God's offer. It was quite a price to pay. So he made a counter offer there at the end of the 6th day. If I give you back a rib, Lord, what could you do for me? God said, let me introduce you to your new best friend, Eve. A lovely life in paradise, yet Adam was alone. He had no friend, but he did have a couple extra bones. over one day saying, here's what I'd like to do. I'll give you a companion, but it's going to cost you. Can't believe women are clapping and not throwing things. Well, let's skip that. Here's some ways you can tell that you're getting older, which we all are. Your knees will buckle, but your belt won't. If you get cable TV just so you can watch the Weather Channel, you're getting older. If you have a big party and the neighbors don't even realize it, you know you're getting older. So here's some other ways you can tell that you're getting older, more to do with health things. It's called start all over again. Oh, I've got stomach pains and muscle strains, feels like I got hit by a train. An ankle sprain, varicose veins, I'm telling you, it's inhumane. I can't explain why I feel drained, I think I'm about to go insane. How I wish I could start all over again. Then there's my constipation, palpitations, weak and labored respiration, perspiration, heat prostration, doc thinks I need an operation. No motivation, degeneration, chiropractor says subluxations. How I wish start all over again. Life's given me a lickin', and my heart is barely tickin', yet I hope I'll be stickin' around for a little while. I've done my share of cheatin', and my body's taken a beatin', but I'm still breathin' and eatin', so I greet you with a smile. And by the way, I've got cellulitis, acute bronchitis, phlebitis, and arthritis, laryngitis, really bad bursitis, a case of diverticulitis, dermatitis, pancreatitis, and perhaps appendicitis. How I wish I could start all over again. Life's given me a lickin', and my heart is barely tickin', yet I hope I'll be stickin' around for a little while. I've done my share of cheatin', and my body's took a beatin', and I'm still breathin', eatin', so I greet you with a smile. And how I wish I could start all over again. Very tolerant. Well, any of you have a pen pal when you were a kid? Way back when, when you were a kid, it's probably 15, 20 years ago, you have to think back. Well, I have a pen pal in North Korea, and I wrote to ask him how he was doing. He said, I can't complain. All right. When I come from Midland, it's about 110 miles, but I love coming here, so it's worth the drive. And I drove past your fairgrounds, so this is in Ionia County. It is. Oh, maybe that's the old fairgrounds. I've seen the new fairgrounds. They're pretty spiffy. And so it made me think about the county fair in Midland, which is late in August. And the last weekend of August, we have a big folk music festival. Some of you have attended. And it goes from Thursday to Sunday. It's the last weekend of August. So start saving up. I think it costs like $10 for the whole weekend, and camping is like $20 a night. So it's a real bargain. But I used to take my kids there a lot, my boys particularly, to see all the bunnies and the cute animals. And then I kept pointing down there. They wanted to know what that was. Of course, it's the Midway. And said, oh, you don't want to do that. But they finally got old enough to outfox me a little bit. But a lot of people go to the county fair just to watch people, because you see some pretty strange things. So this song's called County Fair. When county fair time comes around, strange folks crawl out of the ground, the kind of people you usually see at Walmart or on TMZ. Dirty shirts and big beer guts, pants so low you can see their butts. Tattooed faces and tie-dyed hair, they all come out to the county fair. The county fair, it's the county fair. There's all sorts of strange folks you'll run into there. People dressed like you've never seen, from the weird to the obscene. So when you see them, be sure not to stare. You may have a heart attack when you go to get a snack. Deep fried Twinkies and a funnel cake. Go with chocolate covered bacon, cotton candy and sloppy joes, kettle corn and hot nachos. I like pickles on a stick, but those chili cheese fries made me sick. The county fair, it's the county fair. There's all strange things that you can gobble there. You'll try things you never eat, from the gross to the pretty neat. But before you do, make sure you said your prayer. If you care to test your skills, the county fair has lots of shills. If you're there to find your thrill, they've got rides to fill the bill. Ring toss, skee ball, and whack-a-mole, tilt-a-whirl, wipeout, and UFO. You may wind up with whiplash and a wallet devoid of cash. It's the county fair, it's the county fair. They've got games and rides to entertain you there. You'll go through a pile of money just so you can give your honey a made-in-China life-size teddy bear. It's the county fair, it's the county fair, it's the county fair. Well, this is a story about a man whose wife told him he should try to be more affectionate. So he did. He went and found himself a new girlfriend. So this is called the Blueberry Tart. It's written on a typewriter, 1998. You know, I started, it's been about 20 years. And so this one I had to transcribe over to the computer. So here's a Blueberry Tart. From a lady's perspective, my husband took a job parking cars for execs, high rollers, and movie stars. He called me up one day to ask for my okay. He'd met someone who had no place to stay. Oh, what else could a caring person do? I said, yeah, sure, bring him home with you. Imagine my surprise when out of the passenger's side popped Miss 402742. He assured me there was nothing between them, and that I should really try to be her friend. Though it all seemed so absurd, still I took him at his word. After all, it was just for the weekend. I decided that a kind wife I would be, so I cooked a fancy dinner for us three. I stuck the pie in the oven and went looking for some lovin' when I found them kissing in the jacuzzi. I said, I won't have that floozy here in my jacuzzi. You just tell her she's outlived her stay. I won't share my hot tub with that Beelzebub, so you just better send her on her way. When they left together, I sat down and cried. I felt the knife plunge right into my heart. I baked my sweetie an apple pie, but he left with a blueberry tart. I'm living in this big house all alone. It's been a couple weeks since they've been gone. I've drained out the hot tub, but as often as I scrub, I can't get out the stain they left there on. I never tried to understand just why. I had to learn the hard way to get smart. I baked my sweetie an apple pie, but he left with a blueberry tart. Oh yes, I baked my sweetie an apple pie, but he left with a blueberry tart. Go. Okay. Here's a situation, I'm sure we've all been in. You're, you got your friends and you're driving around and you've done all this stuff, and somebody says, "I'm hungry." And so what's the next question? Where do you want to stop? And nobody wants to decide. There's all this indecision going on. So here's a story about some teenagers that were driving around and they couldn't decide where to go. It's called Nothing Beats a Pizza. My pals and I were driving round, wanted something to eat. I spent all my cash on gas, and so they said they'd treat. We kicked around ideas about where we should go. Up and down the street we went, my gas was getting low. Decisions, choices, options, it's so hard to decide. So many restaurants to pick from, my brain was nearly fried. When my needle was about on E, we finally agreed that pizza's what we want and pizza's what we need. I had Chinese yesterday and I don't think I could eat another burger, and chicken don't sound good. I'm sick and tired of tacos too, and I think nothing beats a cheesy, chewy, gooey, tasty, piping hot, fresh pizza. There's Hungry Howie's, Pizza Hut, Sbarro, and Papa John's, Little Caesar's Pizza, dude, the list goes on and on. Good Times, Uno's, Mancino's, Udici's, and Jets, Domino's and Fazoli's, we ain't decided yet. There's pepperoni, mushrooms, onions, black olives, and ham. Or maybe a Greek pizza with feta cheese and lamb. Stuffed crust, thin crust, sausage, peppers, and 3 kinds of cheese. How long's it gonna take before we all agree? I had Chinese yesterday and I don't think I could eat another burger, and chicken don't sound good. I'm sick and tired of tacos too, and I think nothing beats a cheesy, chewy, tasty, gooey, piping hot, individual size pizza. Thank you. All right, here's you have to listen to the whole story because the joke's kind of at the end. This is called the Ballad of the Bass section. And a few years ago, I bought a violin when my kids were still home, and I had 1 year of piano lessons like 50 years ago. That's the only training I've had. I'm pretty much self-taught other than that. And so I get the violin out and start playing it, and I said, "No more violins." So Dad had to go out in the garage or outside to learn, and little Jimmy was practicing for his recital, and the family dog just wouldn't start howling. So after about 20 minutes, his dad went upstairs and asked Jimmy if he would play a song that the dog didn't know, and I can feel for little Jimmy. So this is a song about the Lake Odessa Symphony Orchestra, the Ballad of the Bass section. The Lake O Symphony was rehearsing Beethoven's Ninth, you know. There was a section when the bass is laid out for a good 20 minutes or so. Instead of standing around looking stupid, they decided to walk off stage and then return at the end of the piece when it was their turn to play. On the night of the big performance, off stage the bassists filed. As soon as they were all off stage, their leader said with a smile, instead of just hanging around looking stupid with nothing better to do, let's all head across the street to the bar and knock back a beer or two, or a few. 15 minutes later, one said, I think we should start heading back. Their leader said, nah, there's plenty of time. Just trust me and relax. This morning I tied a piece of string around the conductor's score. That'll slow them all down, so I'm sure that we've got time for just one more. Except those two guys on the floor. As they staggered back, the conductor cast an angry, hateful glare. Why's he so bent out of shape? Asked one of the bass players. Well, you'd be upset too, my friend, their leader then replied. It's the bottom of the ninth, the bases are loaded, two are out, and the score is tied. It's the bottom of the ninth, the bases are loaded, two are out, and the score is tied. Well, it is like 1 week till the Tigers come up north and start their way to another terrible season. But anyway. Okay. About 10 years ago, I was recording a CD with my group Musica at the time. And the guy that was the producer asked for a list of the songs we wanted to work on that night. So one of the gals just scrawled out a real quick handwritten note, and it said Lav Blue on it. He didn't recognize the song. He said, well, what does that stand for? Lavatory Blues? And of course it's Lavender's Blue, you know, the old folk song from way back when. So I was thinking to myself, you know, maybe today it's it's going to be the Lavatory Blues. So this is a situation, you know, we're all human and we've all had this happen, so we got to confess up. So this is the Lavatory Blues to the tune of Lavender's Blue. On the freeway, dilly dilly, I got the cramps. Not far to go, dilly dilly, to the next ramp. Saw a speedway, dilly dilly, dashed right inside. Closed for cleaning sign, dilly dilly, I nearly cried. Back in the car, dilly dilly, there's Mickey D's. Coolly walked in, dilly dilly, pants at my knees. What I saw next, dilly dilly, about made me bawl. God must hate me, dilly dilly, no open stalls. So close to home, dilly dilly, dear Lord I pray. Just gotta get, dilly dilly, to my driveway. Ran to the door, dilly dilly, oh help me please. Disaster strikes, dilly dilly, got no house key. Dad always said, dilly dilly, life isn't fair. Those words ring true, dilly dilly, I must declare. Still, I thank God, dilly dilly, for trees and weeds. Since I'm a man, dilly dilly, that's all I need. Lavatory blues, dilly dilly, make me turn green. Lavatory blues, dilly dilly, make nice folks mean. God spare you from, dilly dilly, intestinal flu. I about died from, dilly dilly, the lavatory Thank you. You're more than tolerant to put up with that. All right. Now I mentioned at the beginning, my heart is in music of the Lord, and it's Sunday, so I'd like to wind it up with just one more song. It's on one of the Musica CDs, all gospel music, and it's just a song of praise to our Heavenly Father. It's called Jehovah, I Magnify You. Bless the Lord, O my soul, all I am praises your holy name. In this world full of change, I can know that you are still the same. Rescue me, Father God, hear my cry when I call out to you. I will lift up my voice, I will seek you in all that I do. You are holy and just, you are faithful and true. You're the one I can trust, your compassions are new. You are mercy and grace, you are worthy of praise. Jehovah, I magnify you. Jehovah, I magnify you. I bow down to you, Lord, hear my prayer, I long to seek your face. Lord, show me and guide me as I strive to learn of your ways. May the words of my mouth be a beautiful sound in your ear. May the praise of my heart be a pleasant song for you to hear. You are holy and just, you are faithful and true. You're the one I can trust, your compassions are new. You are mercy and grace, you are worthy of praise. Jehovah, I magnify you. Jehovah, I magnify you. Okay. You're very kind. I appreciate your enthusiasm and being willing to put up with an hour of goofy songs. So, thanks, Bob.
You guys want an encore? Let's hear an applause for an encore. I know he's got to have one.
Well, I did bring my ukulele, and I got to play a ukulele song. So. I do see a few ukulele players here, so my uke group is called Sugar, which is an acronym for Saginaw Ukulele Gurus and Rookies, and we play at a Polish restaurant on the south end of Bay City, where all the Polish folks live, down on the corner of 33rd and Kosciuszko, and so they like polka music, so I took it on myself to write a polka for the ukulele, and it's cleverly entitled the Ukulele Polka. Get out your ukulele, you need to play it daily, at daybreak or at setting sun. While you sip your morning mocha, you can have a polka, you'll find that it's a lot of fun. Hey, hey! Hey, all the Polish folks, they love the ukulele polka. It's sweeping across all of Michigan. So join in now, don't be shy, or the wave will pass you by. The ukulele polka's too much fun. Polkas make folks happy, the tempo nice and snappy. Polkas need the ukulele's touch. Trumpets are too brassy, ukuleles, now that's classy. Accordions, they weigh too much. The tempo's soft and breezy, and the chords are nice and easy. You'll want to dance and sing along. You'll soon become attached, ukes and polkas, what a match. It's a party masquerading as a song. The ukulele polka's sweeping across the land. It's the favorite of both uke and polka fans. So find yourself a ukulele polka band, but don't look for grass, shovel snow, paint the house, just say no. I know what I would rather do is grab my music stuff. You can never have enough. I can't forget my tablet too. Hey, 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 later I'll do chores. Doing dishes, that job's yours. Right now what I am going to do is play that polka on my uke, though some folks may think I'm a kook. Well, perhaps I am, friend, how about you? The first Saturday morning, consider this fair warning. Sullivan's is where you ought to be. And all you need to do is grab your uke and a kazoo. Be sure to save a seat for me. Hey, 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 at 5 p.m. on the third Monday, you're in for a Monday at the corner of Michigan and Cass. Come out to the south end, meet your ukulele's friends. The Krishak's House Buffet's first class, and the ukulele polka, it's a blast. Cha cha cha. Thank you very much. God bless you. And thanks for coming out. Looking forward to jamming with you this afternoon.
Good job.